very warm welcome to all the viewers of this podcast. I have the privilege of speaking to somebody who is very dear to me. She's a very sensitive soul, a young student trying to find her way into what career she wants to pursue. I had a bit of interaction with her as a writer. She's been sharing some of her stuff with me. I find her extremely sensitive, and it's a joy to be speaking to her today. Uh, Please welcome Kushi. Hi, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Kushi? What are you studying? What are you intending to do?
So yes, thank you so much, Uncle, for inviting me. I did my bachelor's in psychology and philosophy last year, and I'm planning to do my master's this year in psychology.
Oh, okay. Why psychology?
Why psychology? I mean, it's very interesting subject. When I joined, it was not. I mean, I didn't hear from anyone that they're going to do psychology in future. Everyone in my family was doing science. No one took art. So it was like I wanted to explore that field. I wanted to explore art as in that's why I took psychology.
Uh, Luckily for you, the topic that I've decided in this youth series that I'm doing for the letter E is emotions. Uh, okay, first question. Do you think your generation is far too sensitive to everything?
Hmm, yes,
Okay.
to an extent, it is very sensitive. Our generation is very sensitive.
So, could you explain anything that comes to mind in terms of an example that something has happened where you thought that either you or somebody else could have handled it more uh, in a more
Uh,
balanced manner?
so I so by sensitive I meant that our generation cannot, cannot listen. They don't have how can I say?
Patience with
मतलब वो yes,
criticism.
they don't have patience to listen. I mean, they are very in. Sorry, I cannot
Very
forward.
eager, no problem. They are very eager to get an answer, quick answer. Is it?
Yes, yes, eager, and they cannot, if if an authority is speaking something, they cannot,
Mm. Uh, Fair enough. It happens to all of us. I think in the when I work with clients, I listen to clients as if they are the best authority, even though if I may have a different point of view at times. Been 25 years into writing and still that thing happens. And sometimes you think that this guy is not speaking uh, or does not have a right view about this subject, but I have to listen because they are going to pay me and I have to do what they ask me to. So that is fair enough. So when you say this generation, there is a condition for all guests on the podcast, if possible, that we personalize and share examples that we have experienced rather than generalize and give gyan. The idea is to create empathy for ourselves, for others. So, do you think you are also too sensitive? Do you think that you belong to the new generation in that sense as well? Or do you have a better point of view?
yes, I am very sensitive. I do belong to that generation.
So, do you
Because
work on it?
whenever,
Yeah,
sorry,
please, please.
yeah, because when I was younger, whenever my teacher used to, not scold, but they used to say something in very harsh, but I couldn't take it. I used to cry a little.
Okay.
And maybe, yes, there onwards, I think I was sensitive a little too much.
Uh, okay, I may have a differing point of view. I do not know what you're referring to, but you did introduce yourself as somebody who picked up arts and is pursuing a new line of thought. Now, that takes a lot of bravery. Somebody with a thin skin would not be able to handle the criticism if you failed or you didn't succeed, but it doesn't seem to have stopped you. You have taken the decision when it mattered. What is your state of mind? Actually, we will come to that. We will also talk about that. But in the end, irrespective of the state of mind and other hesitation that you had, you have decided that you're going to do this. So do you want to reconsider your sensitive part? Maybe some part of you is, I don't know. Do you want to relook at this from the point of view that I mentioned?
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't reconsider it. I am sensitive. I would agree. So definitely 100%.
Hmm.
But being sensitive and taking those choices are two different things, I think so.
How?
It does, uh, because sensitivity, I think I was sensitive. That's why I chose psychology to help people who are sensitive.
True.
Yes.
So,
So,
well, it is a brave decision. You could have just stayed sensitive and cried whenever something went wrong, or you have actually used your weakness as a strength, and that strikes to me as somebody who's learned to balance herself out. Do you think that makes sense?
yes,
The
I
reason why
mean,
I'm putting this across is because when I speak to my own kid or other kids, my kid is quite an extrovert. I don't have to think too much about what she thinks. She tells it to me. Like it is sometimes too much. I would rather that we could relax and what I have to teach her most times is relax and be patient with yourself before you form a point of view. Uh, but in your case or other people who are a little introverted or sensitive, I push them to express themselves. It is not necessarily a good or a bad thing. Being sensitive to me is a very good thing because I would like to think that I am sensitive. That is why I'm able to hold a podcast week after week and talk to people of different, uh, coming from different backgrounds and talking about different subjects and relating to them on a genuine level if possible. So far, I do not know about the success of the numbers and all, but people who come on the podcast have never regretted coming and talking to me on camera. Some of them were reluctant to start with, and but yet they have been very happy to talk to me once they've had that chat. Uh, Again, I want to ask you: do you want to see sensitivity as a strength, or would you stick to what you just said? That I'm sensitive, and those are two different things.
no, now I think sensitivity is a strength. But when I was a child, like when I was in school, I used to think that it was my biggest weakness. But I think sensitivity taught me many things, not to form any conclusion about things,
Hmm.
not to, you know, not to be so biased towards things. You have to take everything in consideration.
What if somebody called you indecisive instead of that? The fact that you're giving it time, somebody may say, "Oh, you don't take decisions. You are hesitant to take decisions." How would you explain your point of view?
Indecisive. I don't take time to make decisions, so I wouldn't be called indecisive.
Okay.
And sensitivity and indecisive, I think so they are different terms, right?
Yeah.
I
Of
mean,
course.
how are they connected?
No. So, for example, you said that you have to consider um, all the surrounding areas of thought regarding any decision that you take. Now, that also takes time. That takes patience. It takes a lot of understanding. Just because you're sensitive, you don't arrive at the answer immediately. Sometimes you.
No, by that I meant when and when I was a child, or when teacher used to tell me something, I used to be very biased. Why did they say that to me? But
Hmm,
now I would think that okay, she had a point. Maybe I was doing something wrong. So in that way, I'm telling.
okay. How does that help your confidence or does it lead to lack of confidence?
It did build my confidence.
It helps you build
How?
it.
Yes,
How?
how I would say.
So
Um,
if somebody is put down, so if I were to tell, oh, you look like this, you said specs don't look good on you, or this t-shirt is not good, or why are you hesitating to speak on camera? If I put you down and you have a point of view, it's not that uh, you
mhm,
don't have answers to all these questions. You may have an answer. I like this t-shirt. I choose glasses like these because it suits my temperament or what I want to portray myself as. Anything. You would have an answer. Not
hmm.
necessarily that you will say that answer. So my question is, how does it affect your confidence?
I mean, I wouldn't mind them telling me that thing. I would not care about their opinions anymore now. Now that I know.
So you are saying knowing yourself is a good answer to such kind of
Yes,
open-ended statements that other people might make.
yes.
Okay, how do you express yourself? You seem a person of very little words, but whatever little I have worked with you in
Hmm.
terms of whatever writing assignments we tried, and uh, what is it that you find is your core strength? Like, what is Kushi?
As you say, expressed through writing only. I'm a girl of very few words. I don't speak very much. If there is a stranger, I will be the last one to introduce myself as a person.
Okay.
How would I describe myself?
Hmm.
Again, I am sensitive. I'm an introvert. Um, I'm a girl with few words, but who writes a lot.
Do you think this can change because at some point, whatever you write, if you want to present to the world or use it in your career or maybe make a point at some point of time? See, a
Mm.
wild example because you're a student, what I remember from my student days is sometimes I remember in my college, uh, there was this elocution competition, debates, and my teacher was very fond of me. Um, he insisted that I participate. I wasn't too interested. But at that point, if you have a teacher whose favorite you are and you have to go out and stand up on stage, um, the problem was also that I had a very strong point of view. I landed up saying things that he did not like. So that is what I remember from that episode. But there was once I decided I was going to stand up, I there was no stage fright or nothing. So are you doing something about this being sensitive and introverted? Because finally, sometimes, at least in the field that I am, you have to justify why you wrote what you wrote. Um, there is an agency in between. There are clients with strong opinions. They know their subject better than I do. But I also have a point of view, and I will put down that this is what I was thinking, and this is why I'm doing it. Sometimes it's also how much I'm going to charge for it, and why am I charging for it, and so everything requires me to speak up. So, how do you intend to fortify yourself? If I were to say, you can stay sensitive inside, but the world will demand that you um, engage with them constantly if you intend to do this.
So if I, when I told you I'm a girl of few words, I didn't mean. I mean, when I have to justify myself, I will justify myself. It's not like I will stay quiet. So that thing is different.
Okay.
But speaking on my own, I mean, if I had to speak on my own, I would not speak so much. But if someone is going to take my opportunity, I'm going to speak up.
Okay. So what about, okay, I'm making you speak up here, thinking of questions, provoking you with things that will make you speak up. Now, if I
Hmm.
understand correctly, your subject that you've chosen will require you to do
Hmm.
something similar, isn't it? That you will have to sit with
Yes.
patients or people having mental health issues or issues like those, whatever, issues of the mind. You will help them to open up. So
Yes.
unless you are the one who's provoking them in a manner where they're able to open themselves up with your kind of uh, issue that you have, that you are sensitive and you're a person of few words, which you keep repeating couple of times. Um, how do you think you will resolve this? Just studying is not going to help you. Tomorrow you are going to become a whatever psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever it is that they call. I think you were called a psychologist. Psychiatrist is a more medical field.
Yes.
So if I'm coming to you and you don't speak and I don't speak, I go um, in my problem a little more worse than I started. How do you intend to resolve that issue? How will you make me speak?
You for being a psychologist, you don't have to speak so much. You have to be sympathetic, you have to be empathetic, and you have to be a good listener. So I think I have those two qualities in me. As in to provoke them, they are. I don't think so. I will be able to do that. It's not a question if I'm going to do that, but I don't think they have to speak so much to be a psychologist.
So the question is very demanding right now. You're trying to skip the question. What I'm trying to say, if it is a needed factor, suppose one of your exams demands that you open up somebody who is refusing to open up. I have a friend who is into a similar field. I'm unsure of uh, what she does really, because all these things are jumbled in my head. But she says there are times when people take four, five sessions to just open up what is their issue. They will not open up at all. Now, at that point of time, both of you can't be sitting quiet. Uh, Empathy is good, obviously, it is needed, and you seem to have it. How are you going to work on your skills to ensure? Because we are talking about emotions as a subject right now. So, I would presume that the person that I am coming to with problems that deal with my emotion has sorted her issues for sure. I'm saying not in terms of life issues, there are a lot of other things that may be coming up. But in terms of at least sensitivity issues that she's willing to speak, is there anything that has given you confidence that you'll be able to do it? And what is that episode or example that has made you sure that no, you'll be able to do it when it comes? Because otherwise, we are just taking your word for it.
Um,
Do
I
you
don't
practice
remember.
these skills on others?
Sorry.
Do you practice the skills on others, your friends, if they are going to do to some through some problems that you are unaware of and you're trying to help them open up, or your relatives or your siblings or anybody? Have you used that talent at some point that gives you confidence? Your parents,
Confidence.
whoever, it could be adults, it could be younger people. Just the fact that somehow you know that this is how I will deal with it. When an episode like that happened, and what is that episode?
Um, so I have a younger sister,
Okay,
and she's completely opposite of me. I mean, she's extroverted, she's confident,
okay,
and my parents,
uh,
they always say that she has learned this all from me. I mean,
you,
I'm not like this, but they think that uh, a part of her was because I'm her elder sister. So I think I had a little bit part of making her confident.
Why are you so hesitant to claim your credit?
I'm not hesitant.
Well, I had to provoke you with three questions for you to come up with this answer, and that is also backhanded kind of answer that my parents think this. Do you also think that she has benefited from your company and she has gained in confidence?
Yes,
What have you done to make that happen?
I mean, not. y- You cannot remember a thing. I mean, she has been with me since my whole life, so I cannot think of a single thing of what I did to her.
Okay. You created a space for her where she feels calm and confident in front of you to say things which may hurt you or your parents or other friends. And she thinks, no, I can share it with Kushi. She
Yes,
understand.
yes,
So is that what you're
definitely.
doing?
Sorry?
Is that what you're doing? You create spaces
Yes,
for people to be
yes,
able to express themselves.
yes.
Okay. Uh, what are your fears? What are your worst fears?
My worst fear.
Fears or
My
doubts?
worst fear is my worst fears as me. I
Sorry?
mean, I know I am capable of doing things, but something comes in between.
Who brings that something in between?
My own, I mean, I doubt myself a little too much that I am going to do this or am I not going to do this. I know I can do this, but still every day I think about it.
Let's keep that aside for a minute. Has you ever conquered this? Say you had a doubt about anything, clearing your final uh, graduation exams, anything, any subject, any other subject, and you telling your parents that you wanted to do this, anything at all, and then you overcame this. Do you have any example at all?
Yes, the last semester of my bachelor's, sixth semester, the day my exams were going to start, last night I was crying. I was like, I cannot do this. I'm afraid I will fail. This is last semester. And then I gave exams, and when results came in, I had 9.3 CGPA. I mean, I was scoring the highest from the people who chose the same subject as me.
Okay. So
So
now
at
I want
that
to know
point, I thought I overcame that thing.
okay, yes, I want to know the mind state during that night. What was the trouble and what convinced you, yes, you will go ahead and still give the exam?
So the last semester, the previous semester, fifth semester, I did terrible. I terrible in all the subjects. I don't know how, but I did that. So maybe that was one thing. Another thing, uh, another thing I had to, you know, after uh, Corona, 2 years I gave online examination. So the fifth semester it was offline. I had to write 4 or 5 pages of each answer.
Hmm.
I was not prepared. But this semester I was prepared. But something was like, what if I forget all of this? What if I go blank in the examination? What if I fail? I have to do re-examination. So that all went to in my head, and I had a breakdown.
And so what did you tell yourself to convince yourself, no, I will still go and give the exams, doesn't matter. Were you confident while giving the exam?
Sorry.
Were you confident while giving the exam?
Yes.
So what changed? If one night back you were unhappy or afraid or doubtful, so when you were giving the
So
exam, what did the where did the confidence arise from?
from my parents and my sister, they comforted me. They told you can do it,
Okay.
and also I thought, No, I have done preparation for this examination. I'm not going to fail. Definitely, I'm not going to fail. I'll maybe score less mark, but we will see what we will do in the examination. And then my first exam it went great. So that gave me confidence for my other examination.
Why is the same attitude not continuing in life? Why do you always need somebody else to come and tell you this?
So as I told you, I doubt myself. I need
I'm
someone.
not asking you not to doubt yourself. But after the doubt happens, why can't you come and tell yourself, no matter what your doubts, you always overcame them and have come up? Why stay in a space that is draining your energy? Is my question. Like at some
Mm,
point, if the first exam proves that you can do the rest of the exams well, there's no such guarantee anyway, honestly. Uh, my understanding of the problem for most people, and since we started with that, is your generation more sensitive? That all of us as parents, guardians, teachers, friends, social media, everything is just positive, positive. Let's think positive. There's
mhm,
nothing very positive. Life is what it is,
mm.
isn't it? Like, I may think as
Yes.
positive as I want. Before we started this podcast, I had fever. And this has
Oh,
just started. And I didn't even, I was just waiting for you to join the Zoom call. In fact, my daughter came and said the same thing. She said, if you can't manage it, why are you doing it? I said, I can manage it. She found time and I want to do this. And I was very comfortable. There was no doubt in my mind at all about the fever. Now, do I know that after the podcast is over that will I have fever or not? No, I don't. Do I think it might still be there? Yeah, it might still be there. But it does not matter. I have done what can be done and I'll leave it there. So my thinking positive or thinking negative is just one color I give life. But life is something else altogether. But it is just a point of view. And the point of view can change every 30 seconds. We are not dependable in terms of views. So my question to you, coming back to what you were sharing, that if you have had experiences which have convinced you that you can fight your doubts and win, why is it not part of your thinking pattern now? And what is stopping it from becoming your thinking pattern? And I genuinely mean it as some human being interested in another human being's progress, not to put you down or that you, why did you think of it? It's more like why. We are both trying to research the subject, which happens to be your mind state, not really you, just the mind state.
um,
You got to answer some. I can't help you with all answers. Why is the doubt becoming more powerful and their ability to handle doubt not being given enough credit? When you are winning also, it's not that you are not winning. You did say that you came at the top of your class. I don't like toppers, but you are an exception. If you
I've
fall,
never been topper.
sorry,
I've never been topper.
good, but I'm
This
saying you
was
did
the
well in
first
the
time.
exam. So my question is that why is insistent about this? Because if you find the answer here, it will help a lot of people out there who are struggling with the same issue. They are doing well, but they refuse to acknowledge the good part about themselves. And I'm not even into the positive thinking thing. I think you got a result, work for it. So why should
Um,
that not be part of your thinking process? Should it? Okay, let me ask it this way. Do you think it should be part of your thinking process when you deserve to think, yes, you are a,
yes. Yes.
well,
Mm.
you are going to give it to other kushis tomorrow if they are your patients or whatever they are called, your clients. So today, though, you got to give it to the first kushi that you know. Don't you think so? It is unfair.
Yes, it is unfair.
So, do you think you will
Mm,
try and think of this problem like you think of other problems? as a scientific problem, as a manageable problem, and come up with a solution. How can I embed this solution along with the problem?
Um,
Okay. So, do you think all problems in the world have solutions?
yes, if there are problems, they have to have solutions.
Okay. Is there a modus operandi for you in terms of handling your tender emotions? Like, okay, I'm feeling very, like I told you, I had fever and I was just breathing normal. Just breathe. You're alive and it's okay. A bit of body pain and it's acceptable. We'll figure out after the podcast is over. If you need to rest, you rest a bit. If you just need to sit quietly and just keep breathing normally, don't do much. It's not in my hand really. So if the fever comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Tomorrow is also a hectic day. There's a party at home, and all of those things are there at the back of my mind. Like you, I have the same doubts and same fears, but not as intense. Yeah, fear, doubts. This is your place. You come here on the table and sit. Positive things, you come on the table and sit. Life is life. I'll do what I can do and just leave it there. I will not color it either this way or that. Why? The first question is, do you have any such thought process which convinces you? Suppose that first exam were not to be good, would you have gone ahead and say, oh, I'm anyway going to fail, why does it matter? And if not, what would you have told yourself to continue and give the second exam well?
What I said to, can you repeat your question? Your connection was a bit.
No, I'm asking you. So suppose that first exam didn't go well. But there are
Hmm.
another three, four, five exams, two exams, whatever. So you have to still give those exams. What would you have told
Hmm.
yourself to continue giving those exams well?
I said that you are doing great. You gave the first examination, you studied all, and you were able to write all these things. So maybe other exams are not that much of a deal. You are going to do it like this only.
So do
So
it is the
I
answer.
think I need to first, if there are some problems, I need to just take one step for me to get that into my brain that you are able to do it.
But which is all right, no? Which is what it is all about. We all our fears paralyzes us, no? All our doubts paralyzes us. Tomorrow I'm trying out something new of late. It's a subject that there is no material, no easy material available on the internet. And I'm literally, I've gone back 25 years in trying to work all of this. Okay, okay, what do I want to say? How will I say this? I'm creating new idea engagement. That will be part of the thing that I'm trying. No, I don't have an answer to this. Whoever I speak to either says, ah, nice. Then I have no clue what they mean. Then I have to keep digging and say, what is nice about it? What do you like about it? And then say, actually, no, I don't like this part. What is that part that you don't like? So then I pick up that part and work on it, whatever the part that is not liked, so that it becomes the best that it is possible. And sometimes it may not be tomorrow is the presentation, I have to present. So whatever I am ready, I have to go and present. So is there, you can't be passing your exam just because you're confident or not confident. Is there a way that you actually sit down and work on a problem? Let's stick to studies, the same problem that we are talking about. So you had a bad last semester. What are the things that you did? A, B, C, D, whatever.
I started studying early. I took it slowly. I didn't kept it for the last moment to study. And yeah, that was it. I was studying with a friend, so maybe that build that builded a confidence in me that you can explain those terms to that friend if she does not know it. and she can explain it to me.
Hmm.
So in that way next semester went good. But other things,
But has to come always, right?
hmm?
Once you finish saying good things about yourself, the but has to come in the end. Whereas when you're saying bad things about yourself, you don't say but studied and you have to provoke that. So it's a self-image problem, do you think? Can it can it be a little
Yes,
better? I'm playing psychologist to a psychologist. Man. Don't make me do that. I'm not qualified. Uh, okay, let's go somewhere else for a little while. How are your relations with your sister? You said she is uh, extroverted, and what do you learn from her? What is the good thing about her that inspires you? I believe she's younger to you, right?
yes.
So, what is it that she does that gives you confidence? And it could be anything. You could say, "Oh, she loves me." That itself is confidence. I'm okay with that. But I will then ask more questions about that. So, what is that thing that your younger sibling does that gives you hope, confidence, anything at all?
She speaks for herself. I mean, she does not think before speaking. And I wish I had that trait because I think a lot before speaking. And so I speak very little. That is one trait that I really like about her. Also, she is very confident in whatever she does. I mean, she does not have any aspect of self doubt, not in studies, in anything else. And yeah, that's it. They are the two things that I really
Why
like.
did you say yes to the podcast? I
Sorry.
actually am seeing why did you say yes to being a guest on the podcast? I had fairly good, confident guys say, no, 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 I can't come on camera. So many of them, teenagers, a little older, and my age group. So you didn't say, you said, yes, I'm ready.
Because the poem I sent you today
Huh.
was about that only, regret.
Well, so then make that the mantra of your life. Go out and discover and explore things about
Yes.
yourself. It's all right. Mm, I don't know what that was about. I didn't go down that track of thought. It was just an expression. My response to you was as a writer to another writer, right?
Mm.
Uh, so if I wouldn't have responded to that, you wouldn't have said yes to the podcast.
No,
You would have.
not like that. Yes,
So
I
what?
wrote that poem. I wrote that poem
Hmm,
and said, and that was the thing because I said it. Yes. I mean, I was like, I don't want to have any regrets now.
wonderful,
I want to try new things
wonderful. So you're already on the path. Why are you making me say so many things? You're already working on yourself. You're taking chances. Um, what does your sister think about your personality? She's younger, but since she's
Mm.
outspoken, I'm sure she must have come and spoken to you about it. Or she doesn't.
Yes, she has.
What does she have to say?
Um, about me,
Yeah, about your personality traits.
mm, I don't know. Maybe I should ask her.
Well, you did say that she's come and spoken to you about yourself. What does
Not directly, but maybe she. I think she thinks I'm a good listener,
hmm,
and I give. Nice, nice advice.
Hmm.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe what? Maybe you give nice advice, or maybe she thinks this.
Maybe she thinks this.
Hmm. So if you are a good listener, when you're okay, when you're listening to me right now,
Hmm.
um, what is it that you're thinking about me as a person or a human being who's having this conversation? Forget the camera for a minute. Uh, what is it that makes you comfortable to speak?
That I know you. That's why I'm comfortable. It's
So,
not like
well,
the
you know
first
a
time
lot
I'm
of people.
talking to you.
Sorry.
It's not like I'm talking to you for the first time. Maybe at that point I would have been uncomfortable, but
Okay.
I have spoken to you previously.
So there are so many people who you have spoken to. You would say yes to all of them. I'm not even trying to listen to or dig in for compliments. It's not a compliment. I'm trying to understand what makes you comfortable.
What makes me comfortable? Mm, uh, I'm not comfortable with strangers. So I cannot answer that part of the question. How am I comfortable? Um, I need to speak to them a minimum of 10-20 times so that I can be comfortable with them.
Okay. The clients are going to pay a hefty amount to get consultation from you. The first 20 times they're paying to get you to open up, and then they open up and then you advise them.
Not like that. I mean, I'm not going to be the one opening up to them.
Um, yes, I understand. I'm saying it's a
Mm,
creation of a vibe. That's what I'm
mm.
trying to do. Like talking to you, many people one speaks to on camera specifically. If there is silence, there is um, so much of um, discomfort. With you, there's just no discomfort. I know that you're thinking and you're trying to formulate your words. If you don't have the sentence in your head, you are not speaking. It's not that you have the answer and you're not speaking and creating that unnecessary burden of silence between us. So it's a comfortable conversation as far as I'm concerned.
Yes,
And this is exactly what you need to do. I think your personality is good enough for people to start speaking, and um, your choice of subject is apt. Your sensitivity is a plus point. And I'm glad that we have chosen emotions as a subject because the way you are expressing yourself is you're weighing every word before saying it. Okay, this is what I want to say, and this is how I want to express myself. Uh, do you have friends who are close to you? And what kind of people are they? Are they like you, sensitive, or they are more outspoken?
no one is sensitive. All of them are outspoken.
So, why do they still befriend you?
Mm, why? I don't know.
Hello,
Maybe
you need to
I
answer.
listen to them.
Yeah. So you make them feel comfortable.
Mm.
I think all the questions I'm asking you, you to start asking all of them and grill them now. Your friends, your sister, your parents. It will help you clear and have create the space, the ambience. Uh, that should work. Already they all love you and you are part of their lives and they are aware of your nature. But you are the one who has to go out and dig so that you understand how the world perceives you, especially the ones who are in close contact with you day after day. It will help you choose the points that you want to keep in your personality, change some stuff, like you're already trying new things. Thank you. I caught you on the right day. I've been wanting this series to go forward. It means a lot to me to speak to your generation and be trusted with the kind of conversation we are having. Um, it's going to help a lot of people, is what my understanding is. And when they listen to you and they find that you have the uh, same sometimes lack of confidence, sometimes shyness, uh, sometimes introverted way of looking at things. And yet you are going out and offering a service which is going to be probably one of the biggest services in the next generation, as far as I see it. So it's a very powerful thing that you're doing. I thank you in advance for it, for making the world a better place. We've had a wonderful conversation. What about you? How did you like this conversation? Has it been comfortable, uncomfortable? Any words that
Yeah, it was a wonderful conversation. I was comfortable.
wonderful, wonderful. I hope this helps you. This helps many other people out there. It helps me as well. I'm so glad we had this conversation, and I actually like people like you who weigh their words and speak. I speak too much most of the time. Although I also do share this shyness, but I kind of hide it well, I would think. Thank you so much for being such a wonderful guest, and I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.